guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an update for the 365 days of eyeshadow for you. And this update will also be my last update before the finale, because I'm rolling in the last couple of eyeshadows that I still have left in my collection, and then I've cycled through all of them, which was kind of the purpose of this project. Unless you had more than 365, then you just wanted to get through 365. But I do not have 365 eyeshadows anymore. I don't know if I ever was at 365, but I've used up a good few over the last few years as well, so maybe I've been close at least. Anyway, I want to start off with sharing you some of my looks again, so as always, scooching over to the side so you can see them right here, and I'm grabbing my phone over here to make sure that I know which looks I'm talking about. I wanted to start off with a few looks that I can go through a little bit quicker, because it's basically the same look, but I've changed up like little things, because that is what I tend to do most of the time. I like use a good few eyeshadows a lot because I'm trying to make progress on them, and just because it's easy to not have to think about what to do every single morning. So I wanted to show you that here. So starting off, we have this look, and here I have the Bourjois lightest shade on my brow bone, Lush, the yellow shade for my Panda palette in the creases transition, the purple shade for my Panda palette on my lids with the silver on top of it. And this time here I use this season's must-have, the first shade, which is this like burgundy purpley type shade in my crease, and then the white shade from Lush in the inner corner. So that was at the beginning of May what I've been doing a fair bit, because I was working on my Panda palette shades, and a lot of these are Panda palette shades, of course. Then we're moving on to the next look, which basically is the same thing, except for here I have the gray shade in my crease, and I actually put the third shade here in my inner corner just to make sure that I had used that one for this project. But apart from that, it's the same look, and you see that like the purplish burgundy shade gave it a little bit more of a warmer vibe. The other look right here is a little bit more cool toned and feels a little bit darker, even though this shade actually is lighter, so that's interesting as well. The payoff of the shade was not great, so I've also used the black in the outer corner here actually. Then moving on to the next one here, kind of same story, pretty much everything in the look is the same, but here I went into my Circus palette and I used the dark blue, which in the look itself I feel like looks relatively black, but it makes the look again a lot more cool toned than the first look was. Anyway, those were like my more Panda palette type looks. Moving on to a little bit more of a colorful look. This one right here, I was using a fair bit of my Circus palette shades that I was trying to get through. So lightish from Bourjois on the brow bone again, the yellow from my Lush palette in the crease, but here I have this bright green shade from the Circus palette in my on my lid, and I actually put the light blue shade in my crease, which is not standing out too much, but you can see it's there. And then this wasn't in the project, but I rolled the shade in the panner's pan, so this is what is in my outer corner to darken things up a little bit. And then I have the white shade in the outer corner again. The sun is starting to shine in because it's getting a little bit late. It's 9:30 right now, but it's still bright outside, which is really exciting. Anyway, moving on to the next look. Here we're nearing the end of the month, and I'm trying to get through all the shades that I still have left. So as one of the looks, I created this look, which was more of a warmer look, which you guys know definitely is one of my like favorite types of looks. I like the warmer shades. So here again, Bourjois on the brow bone. I put Free Love in my crease as a transition shade, which is the orangey shade right here. Baked Cowboy is on my lid, which is the gold shade right here. And I put Lost in the crease, and Lost, where are you? Oh, is the brown shade right here. So those three together, nice warm look. And then black in outer V, eyeliner, white in the inner corner, as I've done many times before. Then I have this look right here, again mostly using the Urban Decay shadow box. That was the palette that I was still trying to get through at the end of the month. I put Mushroom as a transition shade in the crease. I put Bordello on the lid, which is kind of like a pinkish but still somewhat cool toned shade. I put Indo in the crease, which is the green shade, which turned out a little bit like more blackish. It doesn't really show me too much green, at least in the picture it doesn't. And then again, black outer V eyeliner and white in the inner corner. Moving on to this next look right here. I still had like a couple of shades left that I was trying to combine in looks. So right here, again from this palette, I have Flesh as a transition shade, and Flesh is this pretty bright purple, which you definitely still see popping out in this eye look as well. Then I put Smog on the lid, and Smog is kind of a darker brown, but it actually didn't turn out too dark. In the pen I was afraid it might be a little bit too darkish to have it as like my main lid shade, but actually it turned out pretty okay. And then I have Moon Shadow in the crease, which is a dark blue, but again that mixed with a little bit of the black in the outer V, it leans a little bit more black than blue, I feel like, at least in the picture. So yeah, that was that look with the other shades in similar places again. And then this last look, it wasn't my favorite, but I was still trying to combine a few colors together, and I wanted to share it anyway. I have 1985, which is the purple shade that I'm panning for Paula in the Panner's Pan. As my transition shade here, I put the bright orange shade from Circus on the lid, which you can definitely see. It's a matte, and I don't really tend to put mattes on my lid very often, so I don't know, maybe that is what just makes it feel a little bit off to me. I'm not sure. So I tried to put Honeycomb on top of it to like give it a little bit of shimmer, and that is this like golden orangey shade in the Bourjois cubes, which gave it a bit of a sheen shimmer, but it didn't like go too hard, and it's probably also because I could have used it wet, which I didn't do. And then again I put the green from the Secret Worlds in my crease to darken things up a little bit, and then black and white in the usual places. So those are the looks that I wanted to share, because I either used a good bit of the shades from these palettes, or just because I wanted to share like a few times the same look with different crease shades. That is what I have been working on. Just to quickly go through like the shades that I've been working on. I've worked on like these two crease like shades palettes that I still have left. Especially the gray in this was pretty like dried out. The like tealy shade a little bit as well, but apart from that the shades work quite okay. I just need to be aware that not all of them have the same payoff as maybe they would have had at some point in time. And the bright shades in that sleek palette are always fun to play around with. They're bright though, so I really needed to think how to use them, especially that like bright blue right here was one that I was a bit hesitant to start using, but it worked okay as a transition shade without being like too crazy or anything. The shimmer cubes from Bourjois, they are nice, but they're like subtle, unless probably you use them wet, which I haven't really tried too much, but subtle isn't always a bad thing, I guess. The LA Colors palette actually that I used, there is no proper dark green in here. So when I put these, when I would try to create a look with this on its own, I feel like it will all kind of blend together and you won't really see too much depth in the look. Also because they're all like shimmery, sheeny type of shades. Sorry for all the glares. The palette on its own is not really doing it for me, but like the shades are okay, like they do what they're supposed to do, I guess, but I need a little bit more variation. And then the Everyday shadow box, that was really fun to play around with and try and find like a few looks in these shades that are like fairly diverse. I've got greens, blues, oranges, purples, everything in here, and then some neutrals as well. So it was fun to kind of try and find combinations of 3 basically, to try and see can I make a few different looks with the shades without like doubling up on any of them. But these are really nice quality, all of them, so that was fun to play around with these. That is it for what was happening last month. Let's move back to the middle and take a look at what I'm still gonna be working on in the next month. I only have one palette, and that is that Secret World palette that I've been using the green from a little bit already. I didn't roll this in previously yet because I already had a couple of greens in there. I have some greens again. So this basically is like a Secret World Enchanted Forest type combination of shades, I guess. It's browns and greens right here. So I'm gonna swatch those. So these are the shades from that palette. I don't really have names, but basically I've swatched them like from here to the side, and then the same on the upper row. Sorry, it's hard to hold both of these. But we've got like a warmer brown, kind of an orangey shade, a almost like peachy brown, a more yellow golden brown, and then a really nice like highlight inner corner light lid shade. We've got a really light green, that darker green that I've already had in a few of my looks right there. A really nice bright apple green, which is definitely one of my favorite types of greens. A army green, and then we have like a really bright green again. It's a really nice combination of different shades. I just know that the brown shades have some chunky glitters in them, which is a little bit annoying at times because the fallout of those glitters, it's just not sexy to have like big chunky glitters on your face. But I can work with that. Like swatched out, they're really nice shades, so the base of those shades are nice. Just I know to expect some chunky glitters to be working with. Then apart from that, it's only singles, so I'm gonna try and see if I can show you these. So I've got these 6 QB ones as well. So these are the Aquarelle chalks from, I believe it was Catrice, but I'm not 100% certain anymore. I bought them in sets of 2, but I don't actually know how they came together anymore. The orange one, as you guys might remember, I've worked on a fair bit in a project, I think it was last year. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm gonna swatch them on the inside of my arm now. So we've got the orange shade, we've got a brown shade, we've got kind of a mauvey purpley type shade. This is more of an army green slash gray type shade again. We've got a black and a blue, which the pigment in these is actually pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to using these. Like I know I've used the orange and the brown a fair bit because they have dips, but the other 4 are pretty flat still, so I probably haven't been using them too much yet. So those are those 6 shades. Then we have 2 more like pressed single eyeshadows. I've got this Catrice Pure Chrome in, what is this? Just a silver Pure Chrome. This is from a limited edition, the Spectacular limited edition, and they had like these chromey eyeshadows, which I like the idea of, but I don't know whether buying a silver was the best idea, because as you guys know, I've been working on a silver for a really long time already. This is the silver shade anyway. And then we've got the well-known Miss Helen eyeshadow in purple, which I have hit pan on, but there still is a whole lot of product left in here. So like I'm familiar enough with that shade. This is what that one looks like, kind of just in the nice lavender purple light shade. And then lastly, I've still got 3 eyeshadow pigments left. So I've got Zoeva Cannella, which is a like bronzy, orangey type shade. And these, of course, because their pigments are all like relatively pigmented and they have a really nice sheen to them as well. So that is Cannella. We've got another bronzy shade. This is Aphrodite from the Mineralissima collection, which is an orangey bronzy shade as well. This one is actually, they're pretty similar. And then we have the Vinci eyeshadow or like pigment in Deja Vu, which also has been in a project before, but there still is so much product in here. Let's see. And that is a really like light pinky, very like metallic-y type pigment as well. So yeah, those are all the shades that I'm gonna be working on still, which is a total of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 shades. So basically 3 weeks of eyeshadows that I'm gonna be working on in June still. We're already in June. And then I've gone through all my eyeshadows. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys still like watching these updates, and well, the finale is coming up, so if you don't like watching them, you're almost through them. And I don't know why you're even watching these updates still, but anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.